Monday, May the 29th, 2017, and this is your Barbados Today afternoon update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that 2 of 3 schoolgirls charged in connection with the recent violent beating of a fellow student at the Lester Vaughn Secondary School are expected to be sentenced today after pleading guilty last week to assault occasioning actual bodily harm on the 15-year-old girl. A third student who had, however, pleaded not guilty was also due to reappear before District D Magistrate Ian Weeks today. Meanwhile, Education Minister Ronald Jones has spoken out for the first time since the incident, which was seen on a video on social media and had gone viral. Minister Jones says he is very unhappy with the way in which the public has responded to the violent act.
As a society, I want us to look out for the victim, or the victims, because there are many, or there are several, let me say. You also have to look out for those who have perpetuated the crime, who perpetuated the violence, who perpetuated the bullying. You have to look out for those as well. So it is a constant rescuing of those.
While not excusing such violent incidents, Jones is suggesting that the public has a responsibility to get to the root of the country's children's anger.
So we have to work and find systems and find solutions. The bell is ringing, and ringing loudly. We can't deny that there's violence in our society. We can't deny that there's even more and more drug use in our society. We can't deny there's a lot of anger within our society. We can't deny that there's some children who are not protected. We can't deny that. So once we move away from denials and face the harsh truth, then we will become better on behalf of our children.
The spate of shootings this month seem to be continuing unabated. There was yet another incident yesterday afternoon at Reservoir Road, Lodge Hill, St. Michael, which has left one man nursing a gunshot injury and 2 others wounded. 45-year-old David Ford of Pyers Avenue, Lodge Hill, was shot in his left thigh, while 46-year-old Errol Ford of Green Hill, St. Michael, sustained cuts to his head and knees. A 22-year-old man, Shaquan Eiffel of Cave Hill, was chopped on his head and hands. This all stemmed from an altercation involving a group of men. The police, meanwhile, are looking into the circumstances surrounding the sudden death of a 73-year-old woman. Lolita Wiggins of Beckles Hill, St. Michael, collapsed and died while at 4A Mini Mart on Evelyn Avenue, Bayville, yesterday afternoon. More workers have been placed on the breadline in Barbados. This morning, an undisclosed number of employees of Actavo, the Irish-based network solutions company located at Friendship St. Michael, were given their walking papers. About 11 employees were seen leaving the office with papers in their hands following a 45-minute meeting with management. They refused to comment, but in a 2-line statement, all the company, a subsidiary of Digiced, would say is that it was resizing its pool of human resources in Barbados in order to create greater efficiencies and meet the needs in the market. The final line said a consultation process with staff was currently concluding. One of the island's major cancer treatment centers is crying out for funding to continue its work. President of the Barbados Cancer Society, Dr. Dorothy Cook-Johnson, says the entity is in dire need of financial assistance so it can sustain cancer therapy for those who need it most. Stating that treatment was expensive, Dr. Cook-Johnson made the appeal after receiving the proceeds of a concert staged at the Barbados Defense Force Garrison Headquarters over the weekend.
When you give medication to someone who needs it, doesn't matter if it's mummy or granddad or grandmother or it's father or who, everyone in the family benefits because that person is relieved of the pressure of the cost. You see, very often the cost is free because the government provides the funds, but sometimes it's not possible, the supplies don't come on time, or the medicine is very costly. So we have to get it from the suppliers. And what we do is to give 1 or 2 treatments and then hope that they'll get a few more from someone else and then bring up the rear, because you've got to have all 6 chemotherapy treatments in order for this treatment to be good. Otherwise, you're really just wasting your time in, starting off and not finishing.
Democratic Labour Party candidate for St. Michael's Southeast, Rodney Grant, says he will be taking his community development and social worker activism with him into politics. Grant gave the assurance last night where he officially launched his election campaign at the Parkinson Secondary School.
Rodney Grant today is Rodney Grant tomorrow, because I know where I'm grounded. I know where I'm rooted. And my circumstances that I would have come up in as a boy, have determined that I will remain rooted. My roots are so firm. And I said to my wife today, she was asking me about something about colors and something, and I was saying to her, you know, but I have to remain grounded in who I am. And this is what has guided me all of my life, and this is what will continue to guide me as I go forward. And I think it's very important for us in our life to always have a grounding. And I'm telling you this story so that we understand where Rodney Grant is at. Because you have to know who is representing you, who will represent you in the future, so that you could also represent me when you go out into the streets across St. Michael's Southeast and across Barbados.
In sport, golf legend Tiger Woods was arrested this morning on suspicion of driving under the influence in Jupiter, Florida. Woods was booked into a local jail and released on his own recognizance with no bond a few hours later, according to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office online records.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Wish she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for what here, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody ain't want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados Today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertising Barbados Today, families. Tell she is Barbados Today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Mom, are you still there? Oh, she put down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We are back with news from the region now. There's a call for a commission of inquiry into the Cash Plus case in Jamaica. A prominent lawyer who made the suggestion also said the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions should not be the only one to shoulder responsibility for the collapse.
The dramatic collapse of the Cash Plus case still has many fuming. Now, Attorney Peter Townsend wants action to find the root cause of the problem.
There should be an inquiry into why it took the authorities 10 years to bring this matter to trial.
The DPP's office has been forced to address scathing criticisms, but now another arm of the judiciary is under the microscope.
And what of the role of the judges in this matter? When the 5th year came and they adjourned this case, did they think they were serving justice? And now we are at a stage where it took 10 years, by which time the victims have either moved on, some have died, some have migrated, some have lost faith in the system, and they are in a state of cynicism. Can we blame them?
And on the international scene, Germany's foreign minister launched a scathing criticism of Donald Trump today, claiming the U.S. president's actions have weakened the West and accusing the U.S. government of standing against the interests of the European Union.
Fresh off her meeting with fellow global leaders, German Chancellor Angela Merkel had some sobering comments about the way forward while striving to remain on good terms with America and Britain.
The times when we could completely count on others, they are over to a certain extent. I've experienced this in the last few days, and that is why I can only say that we Europeans must really take our fate into our own hands.
Merkel went on to say, of course, in friendship with the United States and in friendship with Great Britain, and as good neighbors wherever it is possible, also with Russia and also with all the other countries. But we need to know that we have to fight for our own future and destiny as Europeans.
And that's news and the sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as the Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.